And out here in the world of frugalness, there are things that we do in the name of frugality that aren't really frugal or productive at all. And maybe there's some things that you're doing that you think are saving you money, but they might actually be costing you more than you realize. So I'm going to show you about 10 frugal habits that might be secretly draining your resources. And the first one is spending a whole lot of extra time searching for the absolute lowest price on small items. You don't want to be searching the internet for the cheapest price on toothpaste. You don't even need to go through all of that just to save a few dollars on something like an iron. But honestly, that's what I used to do. Sometimes I would spend days and weeks searching for the lowest price on something, but all it really did was just occupy my time and bog down my mind unnecessarily. And if you're anything like I was, what helped me was that whenever I had to shop for a particular item, I would just give myself a time frame. The best price I can find in a half an hour is the one I'll buy. And I just had to make myself stick to it so I could move on to the next thing. Now, when it comes to a larger ticket item like a major appliance or a sofa set where you stand to save maybe $50 or more, it's okay to spend a little extra time shopping for the best price or maybe even waiting for an item to go on sale. But even then, a time limit or a deadline is going to keep you from wasting your most precious resource, which is your time. Number 2 is saving old, worn out items instead of just replacing them. And there are times when you can repair something and that repair is going to last you a long time. But then there are other times when you repair something today and then you have to turn right around tomorrow and still have to fix it again, or it doesn't work like it's supposed to. And you constantly have to replace parts, and it really just causes a whole lot of aggravation. Oftentimes you do better just replacing whatever it is instead of constantly spending money on repairs. And that could be a car. It could be items that maybe cause a safety risk if they're not properly repaired. Always do your math and see if the cost of repairing the item is close to or exceeds the cost of just buying a new one. Some things we hold on to are so old and the technology is so obsolete that you can't even find anyone or the parts to repair it. Sometimes you just have to know when to let go. Holding on to something that no longer serves its purpose effectively is only going to cost you more money in the long run. Number 3 is going to multiple stores just to save a few cents on groceries, especially if it requires significant time and gas. And I'm going to say this again, you have to do the math. If you check your grocery store circulars ahead of time and you see that half of the items on your grocery list are cheaper at Walmart and the other half are cheaper at Aldi, but the Aldi is 10 miles away from the Walmart, that might not be too bad of a deal if the amount that you're going to save at Aldi is more than the cost of the gas to get you there. But if only 1 or 2 items are cheaper at the other store and you stand to save only about 50 cents and it costs $1.50 to get you to the other store, then you're spending more money, not saving it. And you can go to the website you see right here, or you'll find it in the description to find out how much money you're actually spending on your gas getting you to that other store in your efforts to save money. Next is spending countless hours on DIY projects just to save a small amount of money. Now, I'm huge on DIY. It's part of what makes my frugal life fun, but you really do have to count the financial costs and the time costs of your DIY projects. Whenever you're considering doing one, you have to make sure that you add up the full cost of the project and compare that to the cost of just paying for something that's already made or for someone else to do it. And if the amount that you're saving is minimal, but the amount of time that you're spending on the project is high, then it might not be worth it to go through the trouble. Now, if you already have material and tools that you can use to DIY something and you're doing something that you already like doing, such as sewing or woodworking, then that's fine because you're doing those things for enjoyment more than for saving money. But remember, your time is valuable and you want to make sure that you're spending it on things that really make a difference. Next is holding on to outdated technology or appliances that are consuming more energy and time to maintain. And I know it's hard throwing out that refrigerator that you bought when you first got your house and you were just starting out your little family in 1984, but technology and energy efficiency standards have changed and it's probably time to invest in a new fridge. Now, maybe it's not the refrigerator for you. Maybe it's your dryer, your washing machine. So many products are now designed to use less energy and water which keeps your monthly utility costs down. And you can save hundreds of dollars throughout the course of 1 year, which would make it a worthwhile investment to replace those old appliances, even if they still work well. And to help offset the cost of the replacement, you can look for programs that give you money in exchange for them. A few years ago, when my husband and I were getting a new refrigerator, our electric company gave us $75 for our old one, and they came and picked it up. So we didn't even have to have the cost of hauling it out. Saving small amounts of leftovers or food scraps that are unlikely to be used and end up going to waste. And I have been guilty of this in the past. There have been times when I've finished putting food on everyone's plate and there's this small amount of corn left that's not really enough for anyone to get any real satisfaction from the next day. But instead of just dividing it up amongst the plates, I put it in the refrigerator and tell myself that lie that somebody's going to eat it tomorrow, but then nobody eats it and it ends up going to waste. My advice is, if it's only a little bit left, just put it on somebody's plate and be done with it. Because trying to be frugal by saving leftovers that you know nobody's going to want is still just being wasteful. Holding on to discount memberships or subscriptions that you never use. And this includes BJ's Wholesale Club memberships, Amazon Prime, Walmart Plus, AARP programs that charge you a fee in order to give you discounts. Now, the cost of the service could easily be worth it if you're using the membership all the time. Then the savings are going to more than pay for the cost of the membership. But if you're paying for the membership to get discounts and you never apply the discounts, are you actually saving money? No, you're not. Repurposing items in ways that don't make sense just for the sake of saying you repurpose something. And there are times when some things can actually be turned into other useful items that you can use around your house or that you can wear or even give as gifts. But then there are some things that just need to be thrown away or at least should not be reused in certain ways. Like, really, what is this? You can take some good heels off of a messed up pair of shoes and put them on a pair of shoes with broken heels. And you can even take some toy dinosaurs and make them into decorative planters or bookends. But that's just ridiculous. Choosing unhealthy foods just because they're cheaper. And a lot of times people think that healthy food is expensive and unhealthy food is cheap. And sometimes, in some cases, that might be true. But most of the time, the healthier foods cost less than or the same as the unhealthy foods, because a lot of the times the unhealthy foods are highly processed and that processing adds cost. And even for the healthy foods that might have a higher price, like a bag of grapes versus a cheap pack of cookies, the grapes are less likely to come with the negative side effects, such as low energy, for some of us acne or weight gain. And don't get me wrong, I am a cookie junkie. I love cookies, but we do have to balance our budget to include those things that are healthy for us, regardless of the cost. Spending excessive time and energy chasing after negligible savings opportunities instead of focusing on more impactful financial strategies, like devoting hours and hours to clipping coupons for minimal savings instead of investing in education or pursuing career advancement or even starting a lucrative side hustle. Because there really are two sides to frugal living. It's not just about living within your means, but it also includes getting creative with how to increase your means in a way that works for you and your lifestyle. And if you're interested, I did a video on some of the side hustles that my husband and I have used and still use to boost our income when money is really tight. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with someone else that you think could benefit from it, and I will see you next time. Bye.